Hey, welcome back to No Recipe Required. I'm Dave and I hope you're doing fabulous today. What I'm going to do for you is a pizza tonight. It's actually kind of a Greek-inspired pizza. I'm going to use my basic tomato sauce along with some mozzarella cheese, but in addition to that I'm going to top with some sauteed red onions, some feta cheese, and actually some spinach, some raw baby spinach. It goes right on top at the end. It's really delicious. Let's go ahead and get to it. Okay, for our Greek-inspired pizza, the only topping I'm really going to cook is some red onions, which I've just sliced thinly into rings here. And I'm actually putting them, unlike a lot of dishes, I'm actually putting them into a just warming pan, because I really don't want any color or caramelization on these, and they're so thin I might get a little overcooked if I were to put them in a really hot pan. So I just put the pan on. It's going to come up to temperature in a few minutes, and I just want to get these onions a little bit wilted. Then we'll take them right off. Okay, after just a couple minutes, your onions are going to be softer, on their way to turning translucent. Again, I'm not trying to cook them through. I still want some of that crunch of the onion, so I'm going to go ahead and remove them and just put them on a little holding dish here. You can do this easily an hour or two ahead of time. That's actually what I'm doing. And just let them cool off, and we're going to lay those right on top of our pizza when it's time to put them together. Let's go ahead and put together our Greek pizza. Now I've rolled out pasta dough. You can certainly find how I do that out on the website. I've also got my classic standard pizza sauce that I made a little bit earlier. This also it's great to freeze if you want to just pull it out of the freezer and toss it. I've put my dough on my little wooden paddle here, along with some cornmeal or polenta on the bottom, and that little polenta acts, it's almost like ball bearings, makes it a whole lot easier to slide the pizza off onto the pizza stone that I have in the oven. That pizza stone has been in the oven for probably half an hour at a temperature as high as my oven goes. I think it's at 500 degrees. You want to get it really as hot as possible and get the pizza to cook off as quickly as possible as well. That gets that nice crispy crust and golden brown topping with the cheese. Once we get our sauce done, I like to go ahead and lay down my red onion rings that we sauteed earlier. I like to put these underneath the cheese so that my wife can't see them and pick them off. But you can put them on top of the cheese if you want. Like I said, they're already cooked, so you don't really need to cook them in the oven. It's really just a matter of flavoring at this point. You want to make sure they're spread out nice and neatly. Then I've got mozzarella cheese. Although we're going to use feta cheese on this, I'm also going to put down a base of mozzarella. And you want to make sure you put enough on there, but not too much. You don't want it kind of spilling out over the sides or anything. We'll go ahead, put those guys down. Make sure you get it covered down everywhere the sauce goes. And then finally, this is my feta cheese, which I just kind of dot around the pizza in a few places. This is it's a piece that I've already crumbled up. You can buy the crumbled stuff and put it on and just use that, or you can buy whole pieces of it and crumble it yourself. That is obviously a pretty salty but crumbly cheese like this, breaks apart pretty easily. And you're not looking to do an equal amount of Parmesan to mozzarella. You use less, or not Parmesan, the feta cheese. This is really just kind of flavoring, not to coat the entire thing. So that's it for now. If you got any huge pieces of feta like this, you might want to break them up. You want it kind of obviously all evenly distributed so that when you slice it, everybody gets a little piece of everything. I've also got some baby spinach, fresh baby spinach, that I'm going to put on the pizza, but I'm not going to do that until it comes out of the oven. If you put it on now, it just kind of cooks away and gets kind of soggy and limp and not all that delicious. Let's go ahead. I'm going to pop this in the oven, put it on the pizza stone, and it'll probably take about 10 minutes at that full temperature. I just popped my Greek-inspired pizza out of the oven, You can tell it's done. You feel the bottom, you get a nice crispy crust. That cheese is melted, you get the golden brown around it. I generally like to pull it out of the oven. Frankly, if I put it on a cutting board here for demo purposes, but if you want to keep it on the pizza zone, I usually do that for about 5 or 10 minutes or so. Let the top cool down a little bit, but then that keeps the crust nice and crispy as well. Here I've got a little baby spinach, and I'd go through the bag and try and find maybe the smaller leaves, and just scatter these guys right around a little bit, and then cut and serve up. There you go, beautiful Greek pizza. I'll see you next time on No Recipe Required.